Special edition of the Purple Rain podcast. For those of you who are listening, you will not be aware I've got a very special guest joining me today. Hello, Roy. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Hello, lovely to have you. Because this is the first of 9 special burst episodes we're going to have in the next 2 months to look back on every stop in the Takeover Tour for 2025. And we did tease this earlier just before Christmas that we were going to be doing this. We were going to do episodes looking back on the Takeover Tour. And of course, for 8 of them, I would say, 8 of them, I'm going to be joined by a very special guest, and that is, of course, the mascot of the team who's going to be just taking over. As I say, boys, it's lovely to have you up here. I'm just saying, though, I can't really wish the PHL did have team mascots, because then I could have the team mascots come up instead, because for one of them, I'm going to be on my own, because obviously Quebec's not got an AHL team. So I can't really do wish we had team mascots. I mean, that's the last bit the PHL needs. We've got the logos, we've got the names, we've got the brands, we've got jerseys. We're just missing mascots. That's the last bit the PHL needs, and it's pretty much all done, dusted. But then having said that, that probably would be another thing I can't buy! I know, sorry boy, but it's just like, this is making my blood boil now. We in the UK, we can't buy PHL merch. The shop does not let us buy merch. It's killing me! I should be wearing Frost gear, not Sharks gear for this. It's like, it was fine last year, no brands, no names, but like, seriously, PHL, it's so irritating, because every single Frost game, they always advertise, get your gear on the PHL shop, and I'm like, you know I can't, why are you killing me? Not right, it's not on. It's not on. Anyway, but it's lovely to have you up here, but it's like, we need to have PHL mascots so that for next year's Takeover Tour we can have them up instead. And then if we are in a city where there's no AHL team, and then it doesn't feel weird, I'm on my own. Anyway, lovely to have you, boy. So yeah, so Seattle was the first stop of the Takeover Tour that took place on January the 5th, 2025, which saw the Montreal Victoire and the Boston Fleet go head to head. The Fleet were the designated home team for this game, the Victoire the designated road team. So, Clyde Petrina, you did not fail. A lot of these Takeover Tour games, they have been selling out really, really well. The Canadian stops, they have pretty much sold out. Vancouver has, which we're going to be talking about very soon. That's the next stop. That's sold out. For us, Denver coming up this weekend, that is selling. There's very little tickets left for there. I think only Buffalo, Raleigh, and St. Louis right now at the time of recording are not selling well, and they are later in the tour. I did over last weekend have a look at all the games on how they're doing ticket wise, and Raleigh, Detroit, and St. Louis on Ticketmaster are the 3 that've got the most blue, and that means there's a lot of tickets still available. So if you are in Raleigh, sorry. Detroit's actually selling out quite well. I don't think much left for Detroit, so I think that would be a sell as well. So that would be these 2 that Frost Takeover Tour will sell up. But if you live in Raleigh, Buffalo, or St. Louis, and you are interested in this, I would get those tickets now. Okay, come on, I do not want these neutral games to be like Pittsburgh and be empty barns. You did brilliantly, very well done. We got about 12,000 at Clyde Pedramina, which I think holds about 17,000. So that's almost full capacity. So that's very well done. You came so close, boys, to the record. Oh, Seattle, you were so close to getting the record for the biggest attendance in the US. You were so close. So close. Just about 1,000 short. So close. But yeah, but great for Seattle there to come out in force. Because obviously for these Takeover Tour games, we're always going to be looking to see how well we we do in attendance. You know, are these markets going to come out for what is essentially still a brand new product? I mean, we are in year 2, but a lot of people, they're still going to look at this and think, what is this thing all about? And it might take a few years before people just go, oh, well, this is it's not, and it's a big deal. But I think right now, because it's still brand new, I'm going, a year again? That's fine, but it just makes my job, boy, even more of a fun to do, you know, to educate people on this brand new league. So it just makes right now, I'm actually having the fun part of being a PWHL supporter, because I get to basically educate people and introduce them to this brand new league, and then which then hopefully a decade from now I'm about to do that, and people go, oh yeah, it's PWHL. Then I mean, I don't know what it is, but anyway. But well done for Seattle. We need to keep that going up for all the stops. So like I say, Raleigh, St. Louis, Buffalo, come on. You three are letting the side down right now. You're letting the side down, so come on. Okay. But attendance will be something we'll be keeping an eye across all 9 stops. The Canadian ones, they pretty much all but sold out. Most of the North American ones have. There's one or two that I'll let the side down. And one of them is Louis. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. And he came on that Burst episode where we rebuild the whole D-Spot Takeover Tour. So, anyway. But hey, it also does help because for me, regards to Takeover Tour, I see Takeover Tour as an opportunity to be a neutral site game. You know, you get to take the league out to markets that don't have teams. But for other people, especially with expansion on the horizon, they're looking at these and being, well, could that house one? Could that house one? Could that house one? For me, this tour is more about growing the league. It's not about expansion. But if the 2 expansion teams that do come into the league, personally next year or maybe in 2 years' time, if there were 2 spots to Takeover Tour, well, there's that is. Anyway, so for each Takeover Tour recap, we're going to just basically recap the game. We'll go through everything on the match report, and we'll go through it all, and I'll give you my thoughts about how I felt about Seattle as a whole hosting the PWHL. So, very well done. So Boston bounce back to beat Montreal 3-2 in a shootout in Seattle. Now, the Fleet just seem to love making people, when it comes to neutral site games, the Boston Fleet just love to make sure you get your money's worth. I mean, last year in the Takeover weekend when in Detroit, that went to a shootout, and yeah, so for the other neutral site markets who've got Boston on their Takeover Tour, yeah, go get your money's worth, because this team just loves to make the most of being in the neutral sites. Yeah, and these 2 sides, they don't really like each other, especially of course with that major playoff series last year, the World Cup finals, where of course Boston swept Montreal in what was a big upset. I mean, so they still have not got over that. But yeah, it was just brilliant. It were thrilling games. Yeah, so the Boston Fleet, they opened the PWHL Takeover Tour with a thrilling 3-2 shootout win over the Montreal Victoire. So that's 2 points there for Boston, 1 point there for Montreal, which kind of doesn't help us in Minnesota, but hey ho. On Sunday, in front of a season-high crowd of 12,608 at Seattle's Climate Pledge Arena, the home of the Seattle Kraken. That's brilliant. I mean, because Climate Pledge Arena, big for hockey, seats about roughly 17,000. So that's almost full capacity there. So that's a great start for the Takeover Tour. Sets a precedent for going forward for the rest of this tour. Now, Montreal actually did take a 2-0 lead there in that first period. They got goals by Laura Stacey on the power play and Abby Barine at even strength. The Boston rookie Hannah Bilka helped mount that comeback with a second period power play goal, and then added an assist on Susanna Tapani's game time goal, which is also on the power play. So a lot of power play goals you got to see at Climate Pledge Arena this past weekend. And then midway through the third period, that goal came. So Blinka and Tapani, they then accounted for 2 of Boston's 3 goals in the shootout, with Aaron Frankel stopping 23 shots in regulation. That's quite low for Aaron Frankel. That is quite low for Aaron Frankel. She not one piece that you see about Aaron Frankel is she faced a lot of shots. Her shot count is normally in the high 40s, so that is quite low for Aaron Frankel there. and that was to secure her 3rd win of the season. Meanwhile, for the Victoire, they don't mind that Anne Renee to the end made 28 saves in regulation and overtime in the loss. That victory snapped Boston's 3-game losing streak. It also snapped Montreal's 4-game winning streak. Yeah, but this league is so competitive. I mean, you don't get to see... Look, right now, you're not really seeing a lot of massive win streaks. I mean, the highest the Minnesota's had in terms of win streak was 5. That was during last season. That's because of how competitive this league is and how there's parity from, literally, boy, from top to bottom. So you could even be at the bottom of the basement like Boston is right now, and you could still get the wins over teams who are going to be contenders for the regular season trophy. And that shows how competitive the league is. That's one reason I love it. Yeah, so it's really nice. So yeah, and what a treat. I think one of those goals of Boston was a 5-on-3 power play. Now that's something we've seen very rare in the PWHL, especially because with the jailbreak rule in place. You don't see that often many 5-on-3 power plays in the PWHL, so that is a huge momentum swing there for Boston and what helped get them that comeback. And that's 2 games in a row that Boston got a comeback. And their previous game before this Takeover Tour was in Minnesota when they erased a 2-goal deficit. We were leading 2-0. We thought we could get it done in regulation. Nope, they erased that they erased it the 2-0 deficit. And they forced overtime, but we did get the win. But of course, it meant instead of getting the 3 points, we only got the 2, which of course helped Montreal to then get back in 1st place on the tiebreaker as of right now. But yeah, but honestly, I thought that was a really great game. And what a way to start the Takeover Tour. You know, you have the 2 teams that met each other in last year's World Cup semi-finals. They already hate each other as it is. That Rock Playoff series, nobody could predict the way that was going to go. So there's already a rivalry bubbling there. These teams, they don't like each other. They already had a recently just met. They met, I think it was on New Year's Eve, I think. That was that was quite a feisty game as well, but which Montreal did get the points out of. Yeah, so not only did Seattle get treated to a really great game in terms of going with a shootout, you got given a really good rivalry. These 2 sides, they don't like each other. But what a great idea for the Maritime team to then get the win in a Maritime town, because obviously, boy, the Bleats colours and name it's connected to Boston's rich maritime history. So it's quite ironic, isn't it, that the team that's got maritime heritage gets to win in a maritime town. So yeah. So if you do get a Spanish team, boy, and I hope you do, you might need to try and come with a different idea for an identity and a brand, because Boston's nicked the maritime one. They got in there first. Yeah. Yeah, dear. Should we read some quotes? Yep. Okay, so we're on to quotes now. So, let's hear what Fleet head coach Courtney Kessel had to say. It's really nice to come out with a win. A good, hard-fought game. I really earned those points today. Very warm welcome from Seattle. And I think our players enjoyed it. I want them to see our game how amazing it is, how amazing these players are, and how hard they work. The game is fast and it's physical, but we're just at the beginning of where we want this league to take off. Fleet forward Hannah Bilka on Aaron Frankel's impact in net. This is what to say on that. I think it just gives us so much confidence as a group. We know that she's going to come up with a big save and really keep us in the game. She's our anchor. Well, she is. They don't call the green wall for nothing, boy. They don't call the green wall for nothing. She's our anchor back there, and can't say enough great things about how good of a goaltender she is. Okay, we're now on to Victoire head coach Corey Chevrolet about the opportunity to play in Seattle. And of course, obviously, there is quite a history between obviously Seattle and Montreal, because of course, obviously, in 1917, the Metropolitans beat the Canadiens to win what is currently the only Stanley Cup in Seattle. There is a banner of it at Kyle Arena. It was hoisted there in the Kraken's second ever home game back in 2021, which also was against said Canadiens. Let's see what Victoire head coach say about playing in Seattle, there, boy. Okay, it was definitely exciting from start to finish, having a game in the cities that don't have a team right now. Having a game that close. Yeah, the fans are in it the whole time. It was certainly loud. This building is amazing. It was really cool to be a part of, and we are fortunate to have been a part of that. And our last quote comes from Victoire forward Laura Stacey. That's what she had to say. It's a pretty big honour to come into rinks like this, cities like this, and have 12,000 fans cheering for two teams that don't even belong to their own city. I think it's amazing to see. It's a privilege for every single one of us to step on that ice today in front of Seattle. We don't take it for granted. Yeah, great to see them, really appreciating being in Seattle and just privileged to be there. Give a lot of fans. Okay, well, now we're on the notables, and then we'll finish off with some other points that I wanted to put out from the game. So, here go the notables. So, the crowd of 12,608 is the highest attendance figure of the 24-25 PHL season so far. I think we're going to be seeing that, me saying that a lot on these Takeover Tour recaps, because, you know, we're playing, because obviously, you got to remember, if you are new to PHL, currently right now, only My Frost and the New York Sirens play in an NHL venue full time. Now, we in Minnesota, we get a decent amount of attendance night in, night out. For the Sirens, it's an empty barn night in, night out. I know. And boy, I don't like to point it out, but I'm sorry. You know, this league is really important to me. I want people to, you know, be a part of it and go to those games night in, night out. Once you've got your first game there, I want you to then be a repeater. I want a repeat attender. And the Sirens had this problem last year when they were in New York City. They split the time between Belmont and Connecticut. They had this problem last year. They moved to New Jersey this year, and they are still not anywhere close to what we expect a decent crowd to be. Yeah. So right now, only the Frost and Sirens play in NHL arenas full time. The rest don't. But despite that, everybody else is still getting a decent crowd. So despite the fact that the Big 12 sets are in AHL barns, Boston's in a small barn too, as are Ottawa. They are literally selling decent figures night in, night out. Only the Sirens are the only team right in the PHL that is literally struggling with attendance. They don't get what it is. I mean, we were all in the same boat last year, okay? Last year we were all in the same boat. New league, new teams, get out there and do what we need to do to get the players in. We were all in the same boat. And yet we go into year 2, and everybody except New York is just growing and growing and growing. And that's going to be a problem, especially when you have maybe new teams come in, and they get attendance well. You have to ask yourself, what's wrong with New York? So, come on, New York. There are lots of markets that want to have a team. Don't give them a reason to poach yours in, say, 5 years' time. Anyway. But in terms of that number, you're going to see me probably saying this quite a lot. That's the biggest crowd. That's the biggest crowd. You're going to get a lot of Takeover Tour because we are going to be going to pretty much AHL venues for 8 of the 9 stops. Let's see what Quebec does there. But I think that is going to be sold out as well. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, but this was the highest so far in this young second season, and it's the 5th largest single game crowd in the league's regular season history. Now, of course, as I mentioned at the start of the show, Boston were the home team. The Fleet were the designated home team for this game. So that meant that was Boston's biggest crowd in a while. I'm getting ahead of ourselves there. So, okay. Yeah, but this is Boston's first shootout of the season and their third all time. Their only other victory in the shootout came last year at the Takeover weekend in Detroit when they beat the Ottawa Charge 2-1. That was a thrill as well, and I did get to watch that immediately after my Frost beat the Sirens. Montreal won their only other shootout game of the season. That was, I think, that was the team's first game against Ottawa on the 30th. That was their home opener. They lost all 3 of their shootout games last year in the inaugural season. Boston neutralized a 2-goal deficit for the second straight era. As I mentioned earlier, of course, they did it to us. They carried 2 different 2-goal deficits in our win over them. So the Frost beat us really there. Only just. If you only went to a shootout there. But right now we are really struggling with illness right now. There's a massive bug going around there, so it's like a knock-up at us there. But yeah, so as mentioned earlier, Boston came back with a 2-goal deficit against us, but didn't get the points, but didn't get the win there, I should say. They did get a point, just not more points. They were able to do it against us, but the match. So I can imagine what Boston fans were thinking of. Oh yay, we've done it again, but oh no, we're probably now not gonna get the other point that we desperately need. They're probably thinking that. Especially if we get to a shootout, it's literally a lottery. Hannah Bilka's multi-point performance was the first of her PHL career. The 4th overall draft pick is tied for second in rookie scoring with 6 points. That's 2 goals, 4 assists in 8 games. Cesar Tapani's goal was her third in 2 games and lifts her into a 4-way tie right now for second in the PWHL with 4 goals in 8 games. Laura Stacey's goal was her third of the season, and it snaps Montreal's 0-19 streak on the power play. The teams scored twice on the advantage in their season opening win against Ottawa. Bilka, Tapani, and Stacey, they are in a 5-way tie right now for the league lead in power play. Do you see how competitive this is, boys? Do you see how competitive this is? There's not really many standouts. If you go on the PHL website, you look at the stats. They're very close. And that's how competitive this league is. It's not like in the NHL. There's like one player who's just really well in a particular category. Every other category is so tight. And that's what I just love about the league. It's so competitive. Night in, now, whether you are top or bottom, it's competitive. And that's what I want to see. So those 3 are currently in a 5-way tie right now for the league lead in terms of power play goals, with 2 each. They join New York's Sarah Fillier and Toronto's Hannah Bilka. Megan Keller recorded 2 assists to extend her point streak to 4 straight games. That's 5 assists in total now. And she now leads the Fleet in scoring and ranks second amongst defenders, and is tied for 4th among all skaters with 8 points, 2 goals, 6 assists in 8 games. Her 4-game point streak ties her best stretch during the inaugural season, where she recorded 6 points, 1 goal, 5 assists in 4 games from the 14th to 21st of February last year. Abby Reed's goal was her 3rd of the season and 5th point in 7 games. She is so the one that got away from my Frost. Thank you, boy. I need that. Me and the publisher, we're still not over that. That was quite the shock in the draft back in the summer. That was quite the shock. It puts her in sole possession of the Victoire's scoring lead. The 5 points matches. It actually matches her total in 9 regular season games she played for the Frost last year, in which she had 4 goals, 1 assist. I know. Thank you, boy. I'm not sure any other mascots who got a bit probably sympathy to you, but thank you very much. Kristen O'Neill recorded an assist to give her a 2-game point streak. She scored the game-winning goal, short-handed against Boston, well, Jailbreak, I should say, on December 30th in that most recent matchup against Boston. O'Neill also went 9-14 in the face-off circle, where she leads the league in winning percentage at 70.6%. Her teammate Marie-Philippe Plain went 16-21 in face-offs and leads the league with 84 wins. Boston's captain, Harry Knight, she led all players with 6 shots on goal, a season high for there. Keller was credited with 30 minutes 50 played, which is a season high for the defender. Boston scored 2 powerplay goals for the second time this season, following their December 27 game against Toronto. They lead the PWHL with a powerplay efficiency of 29.2%. The Fleet have also outshot their opponent in 2 straight games after being outshot in 5 of their first 6 of the year. The Victoire were outshot for just the second time in 7 games so far this season. 6 of the 9 all-time meetings between these 2 sides have needed extra session. Oh, there's something about what there's in Seattle there, but I'll say that because I want to talk about that as a whole. Give me 1 second. Actually, that's the end of the notes, because the last one is about Montreal and Boston's next games, which do you want to read out of the way? Okay, I can. Yeah, just in case we've got any Victoire and Fleet fans listening or watching. Okay, right. So the last note before we get back to before we get to Jessica Campbell, the last note I need to point out is that Montreal's next 2 games are part of the PWHL Takeover Tour. Montreal gets their Takeover Tour games out of the way very, very quickly. Montreal has only got 4, and it's the first 4 of this Takeover Tour. So if you are a Montreal Victoire fan, you're going to be green with envy that the rest of us have got ours nicely spread out across this tour, and you are basically just had all yours done and dusted within the first month of 2025. Oh, don't take up a tour games in January, boy. It's not funny. Actually, it kind of is. Yeah, they're in Vancouver on the on January the 8th, and we're gonna have Finn join us for that recap episode. And then this coming Sunday, January the 12th, it's the first of my Frost 3 Takeover Tour games where we're going to be in Denver. We're going to be in Bernie's Barn on Sunday, January 12th. And the Frost will be the designated home for that. And of course, Bernie will join us for the recap of that. We're going to do literally the next day. Yep, so there we go. Yeah. And then the last of Montreal's Takeover Tour games is the one in Quebec, which got announced before the Takeover Tour. Ooh, which got announced before the Takeover Tour was officially confirmed. Montreal is going to be playing the charge in a neutral game in Quebec, which will be part of the Takeover Tour. That's the only Takeover Tour recap where I'm going to be on my own. Yeah, not sure how I feel about that. But yeah, yeah. As for Boston, they will be playing against the York Sirens in Buffalo on February the 23rd. That one, Boston will be the designated road team. And then they'll be on the last of the tour at Louis Barn on March 29th when they'll host the Ottawa Charge. So the Fleet have only got 2 more games in the Takeover Tour, so that means they've got 3. Yeah. But why did this come back? Obviously, this other note that was on the top board stayed to last, and that is, of course, about Jessica Campbell. What a year she's having. Now, I know, boy, you are really struggling right now. I know. How could Chad do? Are they doing okay? or would you? Or is it come see? Yeah, it's a bit come see, come saw. Yeah, it's madness right now in our division right now in the AHL. Boy, it really is. It really is. How the tables are turned with our two teams in that. Yeah, Seattle is really struggling right now. They're currently, as I recall this episode, they are currently in 7th place. I am only just about 5 points behind you, boy. So if you're not careful, I might be creeping up on you. Because I don't think with Matt instead of being I don't being in last place in the division. I don't. Did you just say that as well? Ooh. Track really struggle there, but of course they did make huge history this year, but obviously hiring Jessica Campbell to their bench. She had been the last 2 years have been with the Sherby Firebirds as assistant coach there, and this year got the promotion when obviously the Kraken hired Dan Leesmer, who had been the Firebirds first as a coach. So that Firebirds battle that Leesmer and Campbell have had, it's not working for the Kraken, right? It's not working. But she got to make the ceremonial puck drop. A huge moment. I recommend you go and try and find it online and go and watch it, because that was just a huge moment. And of course, obviously this year, Campbell made history by becoming the Kraken's assistant coach. The first woman to be named a full-time AHL assistant coach. And of course, we covered that in to report. It's one of the first puck stops we did of the season. And also, right now, you can also, I'm going to do this is another plug for the Jocks and Jills podcast. The most recent episode of the Jocks and Jills podcast, which they did in Seattle, they have a full-blown interview with Jessica Campbell, so it's definitely well worth a watch on YouTube. I will, yes, I would definitely go and check that out. I'm going to be listening to it tonight. We'll be finished recording here, boy. Yeah, always make sure you listen to every single episode the day it comes out. Or if it's one of them, or if they come out on a Frost game day, the day after. Yeah, so definitely go and check that out. That's what I listened. Just what a huge man that was. Just, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Because, and yeah, it's been, yeah, that was just a huge, what a huge moment that was. Because you wouldn't have thought that. Say, let's not go 10 years ago. Let's go back to 2018. So the last 18. So the last Olympics before Boyd came in the HL. Back in 2018, you would have thought for a moment that a woman would get on a coaching staff in the AHL. You just want to think about it. You know, because back then, women's hockey, it wasn't being given the spotlight it deserves. At that point, I've been involved in it for 8 years. That was my 3rd Olympics following the women's game. Because I've said before, and I'll say it plenty of times again, boy. The only time I could check out women's hockey before this league last year was by the Olympic Games. So next year's going to be my 5th. Yeah, 5th. Vancouver, Sochi, Pyeongchang, Beijing. Yeah, next year's going to be my 5th Olympics. So I can watch women's hockey. It's going to be more special because I go, I know them for the PWHL. I can't imagine them not doing an Olympic break. The NHL, I don't think will do it, but despite what they said, but I can't imagine they're not going to take a break from them. Yeah, so you go to 2018. You would have thought that would be possible for a woman to be on the coach level of the NHL. And yet you think, why not? We know they're better players than men. Why has it taken this long? Why did it have to take the formation of a women's special league for somebody to go, oh, women could be coaches? Put them on! It's like, come on! I mean, half of the PHL coaches are women. Boston, Montreal, Ottawa. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, and what Jessica has done so much for women's hockey. So amazing there, and great all that. And I'm kind of thinking, well, Seattle, I think you've got no choice. It has to be her makes the initial puck drop. It's got to be Jessica Campbell. So glad to see that she is. Like I said, she is on she did an interview on the most recent episode of the Jocks and Jills podcast, so do go and check that out. It's available on YouTube and Spotify as well, so you go and try that out. I think all that's left, boy, is to do the 3 stars of the game, and that'll be it. We'll do final thoughts. Because we've already covered attendance. So the 3 stars of the game were the 3rd star for the Boston Fleet, Cesar Tapani, with 1 goal. The 2nd star for the Victoire de Montreal, Abby Marine, with 1 goal. And the 1st star for the Boston Fleet is Hannah Bilka, 1 goal, 1 assist, and of course got the game winner in the shootout. So those were the 3 stars of the game. So, let me give you my final thought on this first Takeover Tour stop. Can I just say, congratulations, Seattle. Well done. Well done to you. It was not easy for Seattle to be the first to go out on the Takeover Tour. Not easy to do. Especially how Seattle is still a very young market in the NHL. I mean, it's crazy this is only boys' 4th year. I mean, given how Seattle's had a rich hockey history before the Kraken, you think they should have already had one by now. Why did Vegas get to go before you, boy? I do not know. But at least you're here now, and at least we're good friends. Because I remember when you come, I was like, oh no, please don't be like Vegas. Please don't be like Vegas. And you're not. And we're good friends. I'd love to come and see a Kraken game. We're good friends. I've actually seen your Firebirds. I saw your Firebirds when I was last in Saturday. That's one of my 2 first Barracuda games. I've seen your Firebirds. They're very good. They are very good. But I'd love to see a Sharks Kraken game. In either bar, I don't mind either bar. I would come out, boy. Yeah, I would come out. It's not me. I would say I'll do that. But anyway, yeah. So very hard for Seattle to go first, especially this would help give the measure of what is the Takeover Tour going to be successful or not. And I think by that alone, it's definitely going to be successful. I feel like the remaining 8 stops have now got to go and match it. They've got to look at it and go, right, they did that? Okay, we need to be better than that. Some have. The Canadian stops, I know for a fact, have pretty much all but sold out. 1 or 2 North American stops that need to really up their ticket sales. I know they're only a couple of weeks away, but they'll be hit. But in particular, for Raleigh, which will be the next stop for my Frost after this weekend, Raleigh is the beginning of March. That's not far away. And I think I'm going to do another. I will be doing another, because I'm doing a lot of promotion for my Frost Takeover Tour game. So when I do my promotion for that one, I'm going to look at the ticket sales. They're not good. Then I'm going to be like, ooh, yeah. But to get about 12,000 in, that is a really good benchmark. Given how that's almost full capacity, so Seattle hosts about 17,000, roughly 17,000 for hockey. That's nearly all but full capacity. Yeah, so just really great. I'm just so pleased because I think Seattle is a great hockey town. I can't believe it took the AHL until 2021 to put a team in there, but at least hey, there is now a team in Seattle, and it actually is doing very well off the ice. They're definitely doing. I don't want to say, boy, that you're like what I was, but my team was back in the early 90s, but you kind of are. In how you're struggling on ice, but off the ice, you've definitely built that connection to the city, which is what any sports team, no matter what league it is, or whatever level, needs to do to get to the very start. If you can't form that connection with the city you're going to be in from the get-go, then you've got no future. So, and I know Simon's going to think that's another dick out. It's not. I'm just saying. It's not. I'm just saying. So I think the Kraken have definitely got that off ice community there. It's just they're still a couple of years away from potentially reaching their full potential. Of course, they did make the playoffs in their 2nd year and did take down the Rays at that time, which of course was Burley, and what a series that was. That was just brilliant to watch. That was. It really was. You had my back with that. You really did. Yeah. So I think great. I can't congratulate Seattle enough. Well done. Brilliant work. 12,000. Great stuff. I personally, we did say on our previous episode, I did say, and the Purple Trio are also in agreement as well. All 3 of us, and me, Per Lady, we all agreed that Seattle deserves a team. The question is logistics. That's all it is, because of where you are in the country. It's just logistics. I mean, I think it will be tricky right now for Pacific Coast team to get in. Yet they've gone to 2 Pacific Coast teams, but the first 2 stops. Yeah, I think if we're gonna get Pacific teams in the PWHL, it might need to do what the AHL did in 2015 and get 5 in one full swoop. And that will help bolster the numbers part, because you gotta look at logistics and competitiveness. But I think it's issue. You can't not look at that thing. Well, Seattle doesn't deserve a team. Seattle does. Seattle has got the hockey heritage. Question is, have you got track record with women's programs? That's what I'll say. Okay. But thank you, Seattle. Great start to Takeover Tour. What's going to be a promising start, I'd say, to this Takeover Tour. And you got your money's worth. So, brilliant. I feel like that is a cracking start for this Takeover Tour. Really is. Yeah. So, yeah, a great start. So, yeah. So, we'll finish off by reminding you the final score. So, it was Montreal Victoire 2, Boston Fleet 3 in the shootout. Thank you, Seattle. Thank you, boy. Next stop, Vancouver.